Majesty has sent the congratulatory message to our President yesterday on the eve of our 80th Independence Day anniversary. He has talked about our bilateral relations, and he wished that our bilateral relations will go to greater heights and both the countries will work towards making this partnership a real success. As you know, we have very strong bonds of friendship, as well as given the fact that recently we had the visit of our Prime Minister just about 6 months or so, and then about I think a couple of years ago, His Majesty also visited India, and the current President, our Rashtrapati ji, was in fact the host to His Majesty when he visited India. I had the opportunity and fortune to meet the President before I arrived here, and she talked very fondly about that visit, and she remembered about the visit and her meeting with His Majesty. As you know, we have been working on enhancing and strengthening our relationship. We already have very strong relationship, but as you know, there have been very strong political exchanges, high-level political exchanges between our two countries, as well as our External Affairs Minister was here just last month. He had a meeting with his counterpart. They keep in touch very regularly. As you know, because of the geopolitical situation in this part of the world, we have to be aware of the situation, and we have to touch base, and we have to exchange notes. As you know, the West Asia is very important for India, especially in terms of energy security. 65% of our energy security and crude oil, LNG and LPG go from this region, and because of the conflict that has come under serious stress. But I must thank the government of Oman and His Majesty's government for ameliorating the situation by providing LNG as well as LPG, and back home we have not really faced much difficulties because we have also diversified our sources of crude oil, LPG and LNG. But we want this conflict to resolve very soon, so that our ships and our supplies retain. As you know, during the visit of Prime Minister, we signed the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. Oman happens to be just the second country in the GCC region for us to have signed this agreement. And for Oman also, India is the second country, the only second country actually, I would say, after the US. About 20 years ago, Oman had signed that agreement with the US. So this shows that how strong our relationship is and how important India is to Oman. I'm sure that our industry, business leaders, and all the stakeholders would take advantage of this partnership. In coming days and coming months, we are going to have a lot of outreach programs, business workshops to make aware of various provisions of CEPA. We call it a CEPA, for the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, so that businesses from both sides would grow, bilateral trade would grow, investment would start growing in, services on both sides would enhance. What is important is investment from India as well as investment from Oman to India. We have already a very good presence, as you know, of Indian companies. About 6,000 Indian companies are present in this market. But we want more Indian companies, not only in terms of numbers, but in terms of value also. So this is on the economic vertical. We also work on several other verticals like innovation, creative industries, science and technology, sports. As you know, Oman cricket, Oman hockey. We had recently hockey team, both Indian and both men and women's hockey fives, and in fact the Indian men won the championship, and the women's team was the runner-up. So we in fact collaborate and cooperate with Oman on various areas of cooperation. The most noteworthy, as you know, is people-to-people ties. As per the latest statistics from the Omani government, we have just about 700,000 Indians working and staying in this country. So that is a huge population. And as you know, our community is doing very well. They are contributing to the socio-economic growth of this country, and Omani government and Omani leadership has acknowledged the contributions that have been made by the Indian community. We are one of the most respected communities in this country. So I think kudos to all of you what you are doing. Talking about this school, I think we have very good ecosystem. We have 22 schools. I have been told that about 49,000 students are studying in this country. So I think that's one of the biggest cohorts. So I must thank the Indian School Board here and all the schools, president and all the school boards. They are doing well. I'm sure that a lot of our students have been told that they are doing very well in various fields, not only in academic, sports, various competitions. Yesterday I was in Science in India forum and I saw in fact a lot of our students have been doing really pioneering work in STEM field, in science and technology, very basic fundamental research. So I don't think the day is very far. If you see a Nobel laureate from Oman, especially a product of Indian schools, I think these cultural programs that have been that I have witnessed just now, I think that is a testimony of how good our students are doing, not only in terms of academics but also in extracurricular activity, music and other things. So I wish all the very best to all the students, the parents who are taking care of their children. And myself, I'm a parent, I know how difficult it is to raise a child and how difficult it is to nurture the scientific temper and to hold and mold our children. So I must congratulate all the parents, the principals, the faculty members, teachers, and all the support staff of this school. Thank you very much. We have time for this. Okay. So if there are any questions, I would be very happy to take those questions.
Good morning, sir, and a very happy Independence Day. Sir, I'm Vaiga Hari of class 12, and my question to you is, what made you choose to join the foreign services?
Well, education, I'm a technocrat, I'm an engineer. I think still in my heart that the engineering, I would say, it is still there. But well, I think as an administrator, as a diplomat, I think it gives the opportunity to connect with the people. When, in fact, I was growing when I passed from the college, the engineering degree. That was a time. It was a very tumultuous time. It was 1991. In fact, it is, I would say, there is great shift in our economy. Our Indian economy was not doing very well in 1991. That time, Dr. Manmohan Singh, who was the Prime Minister, he was the Finance Minister, and he, in fact, initiated this economic reforms program, globalization of economy. So, in fact, that gave a lot of opportunities to the private sector. Earlier, I know every college graduate was joining the public sector, government jobs. That is what the aspiration of everybody was. But that gave a lot of opportunities like Infosys and Wipro and all. What we see, the IT revolution that started in that. So that was, I would say, the pivot in 1991. Well, today, over the period of time, as you know now, people are no longer joining the private sector. Your generation probably would aspire to be an entrepreneur, to be unicorn, or you would like to start up your own venture. So the generation has changed. But my generation, we didn't have those opportunities, so more than the public sector that we wanted to join private sector. But then I thought joining private sector would limit me to only one particular aspect. I tried and I succeeded and I joined in public service.
I've been told that you are a very voracious reader. So, what kind of books do you like to read?
Well, I read almost everything. I like fictions, I like non-fictions. I try to read at least 52 books in a year. So a week, a book a week.
Good morning, sir. Happy Independence Day. My name is Rihanna of Class 12C. I've heard that you've taken part in long distance endurance running. What are your experiences and what are your learnings from these experiences?
That's a very good question. Well, yes, I am a long distance runner. I have run what we call is ultra marathons. You know, the marathon is 42.195 kilometers. Anything beyond 42 kilometers is ultra marathon. I have run around 30-35 ultra marathons. My longest ultra marathon was 200 kilometers. So that was like 24 hours, yeah. But that was flat one. What happens is in ultra marathons, you know, since marathon you can finish in 3.5 hours, but ultra marathons are really very long distance. They are generally in the mountains. So I ran one of the very iconic ultra marathon. It's called the ultra marathon du Mont Blanc. It is, it starts in a place called Chamonix, that is in France. In the backdrop of Mont Blanc. And it goes actually to 3 countries. So it starts in France, goes to Italy, and then goes to Switzerland, and again we finish in France. So this is the ultra marathon which has to be finished within 46 hours, and we actually have to climb the net elevation more than Mount Everest, about 11,000 meters. So there are something like 12 mountains which so you have to go up and down. So it's almost 10 to 11,000 meters up and 10 to 11,000 meters down. Well, I think ultra marathons they are endurance sports. But I would say what one can learn in any management school or B school, you learn in those 45 or 46 hours, because that is what, you have the limited resources and what your body can take in those, and that teaches you perseverance, keep going when the things are not in your favor, when you feel that you are not going to finish, when you feel that you must stop, that's the time you feel that, okay, you have to have that perseverance, that endurance, that yes, keep going one step at a time, one step forward and next step, and that's how you finish that one, because it requires not only just the physical training, but that is what people say, that to finish any ultra marathon, you need in fact only 10% physical efforts, but 90% mental. So that is what mental fortitude is. This school, and when the things are not in your favor, when the chip is on your shoulder, how you are going to go ahead with in those situations when you feel that you should quit. In fact, there are instances where you feel like you should quit, and because you have all those thoughts, the negative thoughts, and that there is somewhere in this, I would say, very far behind your brain, that positive thought is there, but that positive thought is just a flicker, but then you have to come out of those negativity and persevere and finish. But the joy is when you finish, when you cross the finish line and when you get a medal, when you earn the medal, I think that joy is something very important. This is what I think is all about marathons. Thank you. Well, this was the last ultra marathon I ran was about 5 years ago. So say I was 10 years, right now I'm 55. Another actually one was it wasn't very long distance, it was compared to 200 kilometers or 170 kilometers. This was only 100 kilometers, but it was in the desert in Tunisia, 50 degrees. So we started early in the morning, 5 o'clock, but like you see here is 7 o'clock, how hot it gets and how humid it gets. So like 50 degrees in the desert, that was really very trying. So we had to finish that marathon, that ultra marathon, 100 kilometers in 15 hours. So by the time we were in the closing stages, it was already night, and we saw a lot of these snakes and all these creepy crawlies and reptiles in the desert. That was in the night, but in the day it was 50 degrees, so we were all it's out of our control, but that is how, so we have to finish. So that was, I would say, one of the toughest marathons. Thank you once again. Happy Independence Day to all of you. Is there any question? Okay.
Good morning, sir. I am Ghubrah, grade 12. Our school has an active Model United Nations program, and we also host an annual event in honor of an ex-foreign minister, Mr. E. Ahmed. What advice would you have to young students who aspire to be part of the Indian Foreign Service? Thank you.
Good. I'm sure. I think it would be my fortune if any one of you get inspired and join the Indian Foreign Service. So I hope so whatever I'm telling you right now would inspire some of you at least to join the Indian Foreign Service. Once diplomacy is something which is very nowadays. I think there is a lot of information about what we do as part of promotion of foreign policy. As I read from the President's address, what is the core of foreign policy? It is essentially promoting national interest, national development. So that is what the core of any foreign policy. What we do as a diplomat or as the foreign policy experts is to promote our interest. How do you promote the interest of our nation? This is basically forging partnerships with various countries to have friends. Though we compete economically, though we compete in various fields like elections at the United Nations or Security Council, but at the end what we need is friendship, friends all around the world. Neighborhood is very important because, as you know, you have to live with our neighbors. You can't change your neighbors. That's the geography. And India happens to be a very big country, so like the largest democracy in the world. We have several neighbors, so naturally, many small neighbors feel a little bit of inferiority complex. The kind of economy that we are the 6th largest economy in the world. You are actually the 4th largest. Of the exchange rate variations. We have been 6th, but I'm sure that in another few months we are again going back to the 4th largest economy. We are about $4.2 trillion economies, going to be $5 trillion very soon. So our the interest is to make our economy grow to become a $5 trillion economy, but that is also not enough. What is important is to as you know, so when we got our independence, we were a very poor country. We had service. The percentage of poor people in India was huge. But now, as so the President had this, she said that only about 15% people are actually below poverty line. So that's a huge success in our country. So that is another aspect, how to bring people out of poverty. So we need to have a lot of development, not only economic development, but in terms of social development, so that every child goes to school, every the person in India receives medical care. So all these efforts actually translate into our international cooperation, and that's how we try to cooperate with various countries. And at the same time, when we leverage our strengths, what is important is to share our experiences, our technical knowledge, and that is what India has been doing. Even when we were poor, so immediately after our independence, we started a technical and economic cooperation program in 1964. Back in 1964, when we ourselves actually were developing, our education system was developing, our health system was still under development. But we started sharing our expertise and technical cooperation program with countries, especially in Africa, Asia, so that they were also part of the global south, and that's how we have emerged as now leader of the global south. So this is very important aspect. Another important aspect of our foreign policy is strategic autonomy. I think this is our important part, that no matter what happens, we have to have our friends. So we can't have what we call is a zero-sum game, and we can't have the friendship at the cost of others. So we might be friends with one country, but at the same time, we are also friends with other countries. So those countries may be adversaries, but for us, all of those countries are friends. I think this is the gist of our foreign policy.